Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This talk will be about buffers. When we talk about buffer, we usually say buffer system. It is not just buffer solutions. It is a system, whether present in the cell or outside the cell. Before we talk about buffer, look at these experiments. And this one and bit experiment. In this experiment, they give a dog an infusion of 14 millimole of hydrogen of acid per liter of body water for this dog. 14 millimole, this means 14 million nanomoles. And after infusion of this large amount of acid, they measured the pH of these dogs. They found that the pH before was 7.44, and after the infusion it dropped to be 7.14. This means that the concentrations of the hydrogen ion increased from 36 to 72 nanomoles, only doubled. This is an increase of 36 nanomole. What about the rest of these 14 million nanomoles? All of it has been masked interaction with certain solutions or certain substance, and there is no anymore free hydrogen ion except 36, more than 36, which made a drop in the pH from 7.44 to 7.14. So this means that the buffer solution is meant to mask or to catch the hydrogen ion, not to allow it to be free to have a change in the pH. So the buffer system, this is extracellular buffer system. It's formed of weak acid mixed with the salt of that acids in order to minimize the change of the pH. But this is a solution, and this is aided for sure by the respiratory, by the lung, for the excretion of carbon dioxide, which is volatile. This is volatile acid, or by the kidney, which is meant for the excretion of hydrogen ion, or for the fixed salts or fixed acids. Also the presence of the liver for the integrity of the extracellular solutions, but the presence of albumin and protein. In addition to these, this is the skeletal system, which is meant for neutralization or buffering of the acids through the skeletal system, gastrointestinal tract, which is source for absorption, for the addition of a lot of substance to the circulations. And also, if something going to happen in the gastrointestinal tract, will have its impact on the pH of the blood. So what is buffer? Buffer, this is a solution containing substance which have the ability to minimize the changes in the pH. This means that which does not allow free hydrogen ion or hydrogen to be free. This is very important. So this buffer solution may be volatile like the bicarbonate, because bicarbonate is an inorganic material which dissociates and so can neutralize any acid added to it and is converted to carbon dioxide, which is eliminated by the lung. The non-volatile buffer, these are fixed, they are constant, they are stable, like the hemoglobin or albumin or phosphate, which combines with the hydrogen ion and does not allow it to be free to make change in the pH. Also, these solution buffer solutions may be intercellular or extracellular. We have only three types. This is protein, bicarbonate, and phosphate. Intercellular and extracellular also protein, bicarbonate, and phosphate. But intercellular protein is present in high concentrations or in higher concentration than the extracellular. And the same thing also for the phosphate. but the bicarbonate is present in a lower concentrations in the intercellular than extracellular. We'll see why. The buffer system is formed of intercellular buffer system is formed of these solutions, the three solutions I've mentioned, protein, bicarbonate, and phosphate. In addition to these, we have in the wall, this system of channels or bumps and or transport carrier protein, which transmits the hydrogen ion or the fixed acid outside of the cell in order to go outside to the extracellular, and here comes the function of the extracellular. Also the solutions present, protein, bicarbonate, and phosphate, but the major part is in the extracellular system is bicarbonate. But this extracellular system is composed of these solutions in addition to the lung for the excretion of carbon dioxide, the kidney for the excretion of hydrogen ions and fixed acid, and the other two just for buffering and maintenance of the system. When you look at the protein itself, it's formed of amino acids, and the amino acids usually have a carboxylic group and amino group. In the acidic media, this carboxylic group COO will combine with hydrogen ion to be converted into COOH. This carboxylic group. This is a very important one. So the hydrogen ion has been masked. It is present in an alkaline media, so the ammonia group will deliver this hydrogen ion for the OH to be converted into water, and this will be converted into NH. So this is the problem of the protein. That's why protein is present intracellularly, just to mask the hydrogen ion and deliver it again. So there's no renewal except if it is destroyed. That's why this is albumin or the globulins or the hemoglobin in the presence it's present in the hemoglobin is present in the as it's considered a good buffer because its concentration is high, double that of the plasma, and at the same time the imidazole ring, the alpha imidazole ring present in the histidine is present in large concentrations, about 3 times. So the hemoglobin ability to is quantitatively about 6 times more important than the plasma protein and 6 times buffer power. When it comes to the phosphate, also it goes in the two directions. This phosphoric acid combines with hydrogen to form monosodium dihydrogen phosphate, and this is with addition of another hydrogen ions, it forms monosodium dihydrogen phosphate. If it's released one of these hydrogen ion, it goes back to disodium hydrogen phosphate. So this is a monosodium dihydrogen phosphate. So this is a change from this direction to that direction. So it combines with the hydrogen ion, masking it from being free to have an effect on the pH. So phosphate is present inside and outside, inside the cell and in the extracellular. The last one, which is bicarbonate, is formed mainly from the carbon dioxide dissolving and dissociating, dissolving to form carbonic acid and then dissociate to bicarbonate. But what is present is sodium bicarbonate. Now this is one. So the sodium bicarbonate, when it comes to the pH, equals 6.1, which is the logarithm of the two constants, dissociation constants and the molar photo, and plus the logarithm of bicarbonate divided by carbonic acid. Bicarbonate is 24, carbonic acid 1.2. This is the logarithm of 20 equals 1.3, so the pH is 7.4. So the pH will change from changing the bicarbonate and carbon dioxide, partial pressure of carbon dioxide. And this is hydrogen ion concentration, so equal the same thing, carbon dioxide over the bicarbonate. When we look at the pH, steadiness of the pH within the cell itself depends on the output of the hydrogen ions and how is dealt with these hydrogen ions as a product of the metabolism. So it depends on the total weak acids or the protein within the cells, on the partial of carbon dioxide as end product from the metabolism, and at the same time the fixed acids. So the intracellular buffering depends on the protein, as I've mentioned before, and the phosphate, as I've mentioned before, in addition to bicarbonate. And in addition to these, there's a metabolic buffering. Sometimes in an anaerobic glycolysis is in the formation of lactate or lactic acids, and the lactic acid can go again back in the reverse direction to pyruvate and then enter the cyclical cycle. So this is some sort of buffering. Organelles, also in the mitochondria, this is a hell of production of hydrogen ions, which is used in the formation and the conversion from adenosine triphosphate to adenosine triphosphate and vice versa. So it is not released outside, but it is reused again. Adjustment of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide which is put in the cell as an end product of the metabolism of carbohydrate, lipid, and protein. This carbon dioxide easily passes through the membranes and it goes from the cells to the blood, and the blood it is carried through the hemoglobin, carboxyhemoglobins, or bicarbonate anhydrase to form bicarbonate, or physiologically dissolved. And this carbon dioxide which passes from the cell to the blood and then to the lung. So there's a balance between these two, and we are going to discuss it. Fixed acid, this is very important. The end product of the metabolism of protein usually results in fixed acid like nitrate phosphate or sulfate. And this sulfate usually is carried out by transport carboprotein from the cell outside to the blood, and further blood is secreted by the kidney. Look at this intracellular buffer system. So this buffer system I mentioned, the end product metabolism of the production from lipid, fat, or carbohydrates, carbon dioxide, in addition to hydrogen ions and other fixed acids. This is usually dealt with by the protein, bicarbonate, and phosphate just to mask it, so as not to allow the change in the pH. But at the same time, this is helped by this system, by the pump, by the channel, by transport protein to carry out these fixed acid hydrogen ion from the cell to outside. Imagine this hydrogen ion is cut out of the cells in exchange with the sodium. So hydrogen goes out, sodium goes in, and this sodium by sodium addition triphosphate bomb goes out again, and and potassium comes in to the cell, or the potassium goes in. When the potassium goes in, it is released also by what we call leaky potassium channels. So the end result of this metabolic change is that restoration of the normal milieu of the cell itself. This is very important to keep in mind. And also the fixed light is transported by transport protein outside of the cell to be excreted by the kidney. So this is the metabolism, the metabolites resulting from the metabolism usually goes out. These it go outside the cells. When we look at the carbon dioxide easily crosses the membrane without any problem. So diffuses outside and goes after that released by the lung outside. So there is a relation between this system. If there's some sort of hypoventilations, for sure, the carbon dioxide will increase in the lung, increase in the blood, and then increase in the cell. So, or the reverse. If there is some sort of hyperventilation, the wash out of carbon dioxide pressures will decrease in the lung, and the blood, and in the cell. So there is a balance between the output of the carbon dioxide from the cell, and output from the carbon dioxide from the respiratory system, or we can say the input here and output there. So there is a balance between the productions and excretions. And since this is a dynamic process and it is present in a normal physiological states, what is produced here is accelerated here. The production of carbon dioxide is, per minute is about 240 ml per minute. Is This is produced as the product of the metabolism. Usually, all of it goes out from the lung by this normal minute volume. Increase in the production is associated with increase in the excretions. If something wrong happened, for sure, this is the overproduction is not common, but the problem here of the lung. And the lung has some sort of hyperventilation, this will be retention. Hyperventilation will be more clearance and carbon dioxide drops again. When it comes to the extracellular buffer system, this is the extracellular. Same we have the protein, carbon, bicarbonate, and phosphates, but the bicarbonate is the most important one. And this system is this substrate is should be in, in balance with the with these organs. That's why the lung itself is meant for the excretion of carbon dioxide and the volatile acids. The kidney is responsible for the excretions of non-volatile acids, hydrogen ions, and fixed salts or fixed acids. In addition to these, the integrity of the albumin and the globulins depends on the liver. The skeletal system is meant for the buffering of the hydrogen ions, but different techniques are going to talk about it. So this is the system, extracellular buffer system, buffer substrates and these organs. So any problem in these buffer substrates or these organs for sure will make some change in the pH. We have to take care, and a very important point, that the daily production of the acids, which is produced minute by minute. At the same time, it is excreted, whether from the lung, carbon dioxide, or from the kidney. So the production of these acids equals the excretions of these acids, either through the lung or through the kidney. So there is a balance between the two. That's why, although it is a dynamic, the pH is not changing. This is what we call sometimes acidosis. But if something wrong happened, overproduction of the acids beyond the capacity, say, of the lung to clear it, this will lead to more retentions, or overproduction of the acid beyond the kidney to clear it, or to reclaim the bicarbonate, or to synthesize the bicarbonate. This will lead to some sort of acidosis. Or the imbalance comes from the other hand. There's some sort of problem of this kidney is unable to reclaim the bicarbonate or synthesize bicarbonate or to excrete the acids, the normal produced acid. In this case, there will be retentions and this will lead to acidosis. So the imbalance here, either overproductions beyond the capacity of the kidney or the lung, or the lung or the kidney are not able to excrete the normal daily uh, 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 or the normal daily productions of these acids. So this is makes the balance the imbalance, and in this case you will have the problem what we call acidemia. The liver is important for this carbon dioxide production is produced from the liver. Sometimes the liver, what we call liver cirrhosis, liver in which there is overproduction of carbon dioxide beyond the capacity of the lung, especially if the lung is bad, like in the patient of COPD. This will lead to more retention of carbon dioxide. Metabolism of the organic acids and ions such as lactate, ketone bonds, and amino acids usually occur here, and also bicarbonate synthesis from the lactate and ketone bodies. Metabolism of ammonia and the production of plasma protein is essential for the integrity of the maintenance of the medullae of the blood. Bone is important for hydrogen homeostasis. Point number one, the organic matrix of the bone itself, in which the hydrogen ion goes in exchange with sodium or potassium, which goes out in case of acidosis, or in case of this is in acute state. In the chronic state, the hydrogen ion is buffered by the calcium carbonate. The inorganic material which is present in the form of hydroxyapatite crystals. This is carbonate, bicarbonate, and calcium, and phosphate, and sodium and potassium. All of them, and they can take hydrogen ions in exchange for the calcium, sodium, or potassium, or release of bicarbonate and carbonate or phosphate. So the bone itself is a major reserve for the as a buffer for the chain for stabilizing the internal milieu or the external milieu of the blood by buffering the excess hydrogen ion, especially in cases of renal failure. Look at this. This is a very simple example. When you look at the system, when we talk about the buffer, we talk about a system. It is not just simple buffer solutions. Look at this. This is the Henderson equations. At pH equals pK logarithm of bicarbonate or carbonic acids. Bicarbonate is 20 and carbonic acid 1, or this 20, this bicarbonate is 24, and and carbonic acid 1.2. So the ratio between the two is 20. Logarithm of 20 is 1.3. So this is pH is 7.3. If you add 1.2 milliequivalent of HCl, hydrochloric acid, is added to 1 liter of solutions with bicarbonate 24, so it will react with 1.2 of bicarbonate, and the bicarbonate will be diminished to be 22.8. And at the same time, the natural result of this reaction is the production of carbonic acid. So the carbonic acid 1.2 carbonic acid will be produced. So in these reactions, you will find that the bicarbonate will decrease by 1.2 to be, instead of 24, to be 22.8. And at the same time, the carbonic acid, which is present in the form of 1.2, we will add it will have another 1.2 milliequivalent of carbonic acid, so the carbonic acid will be 2.2. So this is will give us the ratio between, this is the logarithm of 9.5. Let's divide this is 22.8 over 2.4 will give you the logarithm of this will be that. So the pH will drop from 7.4 to 7.07. Stop. 7.08. So it is a large drop, because here the carbon dioxide, the carbonic acid, didn't find anything to take it as carbon dioxide outside by the lung. So look at it. This is a buffer solutions, but when we look at a buffer systems, this is 1.2 milliequivalent has been added to the solution. Bicarbonate dropped to 2.2, but this carbonic acid dissociates into carbon dioxide and evaporated and came out of the lung. So what is remaining is this bicarbonate over carbonic acid. Bicarbonate 22.8 and carbonic acid 1.2. But this is the normal carbonic acid. So this gives us 19. The logarithm of 19 is 1.2. So the pH will drop from 7.4 to 7.38. That's why this is a function of the system. Function of the system. This is a solution bicarbonate, but at the same time, there should be a lung to get rid out of the carbon dioxide. Otherwise, carbonic acid will increase and there will be severe large drop. This is number one. Number two, if there's some sort of problem at the lung which does not elaborate and excrete, this is carbon dioxide will be retained and will take the problem. There will be a failure of the buffer system, and so the drop of the pH will be too much. This is an example. So the kidney is very important also for the reclamation of carbon of the bicarbonate, for the synthesis of bicarbonate, for the excretions of the fixed acid, excretion of the hydrogen ion, and control of the strong ions, is in the absorption, secretions, and something like that. The balance for the strong ions, sodium, potassium, and chloride. Look at this. The reactions of, for instance, the acid load of sulfuric acid produced by the metabolism of methionine. For sulfuric acid will react with bicarbonate to give carbon dioxide and water and sodium sulfate. So sodium sulfate, very important to look at sodium sulfate. It will be excreted. And sometimes after the excretion of sodium sulfate, this is in its pathway here, the hydrogen ion will come out, the hydrogen ion will be excreted, and sodium will be absorbed in the form of sodium bicarbonate, and hydrogen or sulfuric acid will be excreted. If the pH of the urine came down below 4.5, ammonia will come out to form ammonium sulfate. So this is the secretion or the excretions of the fixed acids. Fixed acid will be secreted like that. So the body gets rid out of this fixed out by this way. I think we took a rapid look about the buffer system. When we talk about buffer, we usually look at a buffer system, buffer solutions, and the system within the cell itself, in the form of channels, sperm and transport carrier protein, or extracellularly in the form of the lung, kidney. These are the main part for the 7, in addition to the buffer solutions. And thank you.